Welcome back, Commander. In this video, we'll be featuring the Scorpion Cell as an Epsilon subfaction from a Red Alert 2 mod called Mental Omega. Mental Omega is a free unofficial expansion pack for Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 Yuri's Revenge. It started off as a balance modification created by Speeder and Mevator and was first released in 2005. After a few years, it had grown into an unofficial sequel with new campaigns for the Allies, Soviets, and Yuri. Now, version 3.3 marks the end of the long road and is the final iteration of the Mental Omega mod series. Enhanced with the powerful Ares expansion DLL, Mental Omega 3.3 introduces an entirely new faction to the play, the technologically advanced Foehn Revolt, as well as continues to bring new features to Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 Yuri's Revenge, while maintaining a strong sense of gameplay balance. But before we begin, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel so we can help deliver more info on the battlefield. The Scorpion Cell is the African and Middle Eastern division of Epsilon, led by the charismatic Rashidi and his right-hand man, Africa's greatest assassin, Malver. Due to their history as a terrorist group, the cell relies on scavenged weapons and vehicles, cleverly cobbled together from scrap. The inhumane weaponry, such as aggressive toxins and chemical strips, both the morale and exposed flesh author enemies alike. The poor armor, yet low production costs and high speed of their vehicles means the Scorpion Cell relies on overwhelming their enemies with sheer numbers. In addition, a selection of their weapons, such as Tyrants, Bloatick Traps, or Hijackers in disguise, is used to set effective traps against their opponents. These characteristics make the cell a ruthless opponent, prepared to go under the belt when necessary. A man who conquered the dunes by himself and lived out most of his life in solitude in the Western Sahara. A man most people speak of only in whispers, and whose enemies dare not name at all. Malver's existence has only been recently uncovered due to past encounters with him almost never leaving any survivors behind. He is believed to have been affiliated with the leader of the Scorpion Cell, Rashidi, from the beginning, as well as being introduced to Yuri through him after the cell had been included in the Epsilon army. Since then, Malver follows the orders of Yuri's proselytes, but he is not afraid to remind them that, given Scorpion Cell is ever betrayed, their lives would be forfeit. Malver has retained a special place among Yuri's ranks, as he is one of the few people in the world to have mastered psychic abilities completely on his own through intense meditation. He spent years trying to learn how to move objects with his mind, which resulted in him creating a weapon made purely with psychokinesis. He perfected the psychic movement of matter down to the molecular level, with his power manifesting itself as a blade so sharp it can cut through even the thickest of armor like cloth. Additionally, Malver specializes in dampening the cognitive abilities of others, allowing Malver to physically and mentally compromise his opponents, making them slower, weaker, and more susceptible to damage. To further augment his abilities as an assassin, Epsilon has granted Malver the exclusive use of a man-portable Chimera core, permanently rendering him invisible to the naked eye and radar. The Toxic Strike is a support power that calls in 4 small Debug Striker series jets, which will begin firing explosive toxic shells on the designated area for a while. Their weapons are highly effective against infantry and light vehicles. The Bloatick Trap is a support power that is used to spawn an entrance to a lightly armored Bloatick tunnel anywhere on the battlefield. This tunnel will then periodically release even up to 8 explosive Bloaticks after a short period of time. The Hijacker's support power will paradrop 3 Hijackers with a cargo plane anywhere on the battlefield. The Hijackers can then disguise as enemy infantry and be used to steal most of the enemy vehicles. With Rashidi's personal training and advanced weapon crafting talents, the Scourges joined his ranks after the Scorpion Cell suffered a series of severe losses to heavy enemy armor on its own home territories. The custom weapon he is equipped with is extremely destructive to tanks, although its shots cannot be concentrated at a single point due to its strong recoil, making it a rather inaccurate weapon. The key characteristic of the Scourge's weapon is that, shockingly to the cell's enemies, it actually makes use of a short EMP effect. The Allies whose outposts have already been raided by these troops believe that the Scorpion Cell may have scavenged a Soviet base of their failed African campaign and reverse-engineered the looted EMP equipment. However, there are those who believe Rashidi has received help from someone even more familiar with the EMP technology. Despite acquiring the aid of Yuri's Epsilon adepts themselves, the Scorpion Cell did not abandon its more ordinary ways of sabotaging its enemy's forces in the field. Some of their soldiers are still being trained and specialized in the art of hot wiring empty vehicles and capturing manned enemy vehicles on the field in order to bolster the cell's numbers. The hijackers are capable of capturing almost any manned vehicle. In order to get close enough, he is able to disguise as enemy infantry as well. He is also skilled enough to avoid getting crushed. Combined with the Shadow Ring, he can become an unexpected game changer. Much like its namesake, the Mantis Tank can attack its prey in the blink of an eye. Being by far the cheapest main battle tank, they are quickly produced and can easily swarm an enemy. To further increase their speed and decrease costs, the hull of the Mantis is made up of a unique combination of cheap, smart polymers and nanofibers, making the tank barely sturdy enough to withstand a few rounds. What makes the Mantis truly amazing, though, is the materials the tank is made up of, fully malleable when not under a constant low voltage, which keeps it in rigid shape. This allows for friendly Mantis tanks to quickly scavenge debris off the wrecks of their brethren and replenish their own damaged armor. The speeder Trike is a state-of-the-art harassment vehicle and one of the fastest units on the battlefield. The Trike can easily outrange most conventional weaponry with its long-range RPGs launcher and is quick enough to outmaneuver most vehicles, also capable of switching into firing its triple projectiles simultaneously at high altitudes, making it a formidable foe in combat. Its armor is less than stellar though, so it should avoid direct hits from anti-tank weaponry. The aptly named Tyrant of the Scorpion Cell dominates the field in the quick destruction of enemies that comes out of nowhere. Its heavily reinforced front armor, a mechanized grinder, and powerful engine allow it to travel underground just like the Driller APC. A fixed turret rapidly fires large capsules containing highly explosive toxins and acids over a small area, decimating anything in the Tyrant's way as it advances to conquer the enemy territories in Rashidi's name. Though their structure is sturdy enough to dig through the ground, the quality overall of the Tyrant's armor is rather lacking compared to the Allied and Soviet heavy tanks. While it's not the most powerful advanced tank there is, Tyrants are built to outrun their enemies and overwhelm them with sheer numbers. An age-old concept reborn. The Plague Splatter strongly resembles the highly effective siege engines of ancient Greece. Plague Splatters can catapult containers of highly corrosive agents and explosives across the battlefield, blasting open structures and eating away at the foundations. The projectiles leave poisonous vapors behind as a dangerous threat to infantry, causing respiratory distress and damage to internal and external organs. Cheaply produced, relatively quick, and lightly armored, the Plague Splatter is a powerful tool against both structures and infantry as long as it is placed out of harm's way. The Oxidizer is the Scorpion Cell's dedicated anti-air support system. Oxidizers are primarily made up of salvaged parts of other vehicles, haphazardly soldered and bolted together in order to cut down on cost, taxing the cell's fluctuating budget. The resulting contraption is capable of moving on the water with help of simple suspension materials and fires capsules containing a highly potent cocktail of hydrogen peroxide, hydrochloric acid, and nitric acid, which literally eats away at aircraft. Due to the threadbare interiors, a dangerous mix of chemicals used, and a rather unstable construction of the Oxidizer, the position of pilot or gunner of one of these death traps is considered a lowly position among the Scorpion Cell forces, reserved usually for disciplinary action. The Oxidizer is designed purely for anti-aircraft warfare, and so is very vulnerable to any other forces. This ends the Subfaction Spotlight series of Mental Omega 3.3 mod for Red Alert 2. If you want more Subfaction Spotlight series like these, please click the like button and comment down below on what you want to see next. It will greatly help me deliver more top secret info to you and to our comrades. Until next time, Commander, Battle Control terminated.